Okay, so we're back here for more Shacknews awards, and we're taking our talents over to the Nintendo Switch hybrid handheld console thinger mabobber. There are a lot of ports to this. This is like basically a port machine at this point. So there were a lot of ports this year. Curious if anyone has a nomination that they'd like to make that isn't Tetris Effect connected.
I hear from Chris about Crisis.
I nominated Crisis Remastered Trilogy because Part 2 runs better on the Switch than it does on the PS4 and Xbox, and against all odds is somehow a faithful port of the PC game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, within the limitations of the Switch.
Yeah, obviously.
That was super impressive. I mean,
somehow, unlike all the other ports they've done, like the Dooms and the Wolfensteins and all that, this one actually stays at 30 FPS frame paced for more than 98% of the time.
Did you have a chance to play Quake on Switch?
I have not.
From what I've read, it holds up very well also.
You know what? I had nominated Tetris Effect, but I completely forgot about Quake HD, which is funny because I bought it on Switch. That's my nomination. It'll probably end up getting my vote unless I'm swayed. Quake on Switch is just a damn masterpiece. It has all the bells and whistles of the other consoles that their consoles have. It runs really well. I even like playing with the motion controls. It's not as good or as accurate as a mouse, but it's close enough. I like it better than using the dual sticks. It's probably something you can do on the other consoles, but just playing on Switch, especially when you're on the handheld, it's kind of cool to still have that functionality. And it looks great.
Online play works.
The online play, I mean, just across the board on all platforms, like getting an online match up and going is so much easier than it ever was in the original Quake. That Quake HD gets my vote. My nomination. But
I have a question, Asif. Are we counting Super Mario 3D World?
No.
I literally just thought of that like 5 minutes ago, I swear.
We can't encourage Nintendo's behavior. Like,
I would disagree there. Like I think that like that was one of the best games on Wii U. More Wii U games coming to Switch is a good thing. But really it was like I love that game, but it wasn't any different than the Wii U version that I recall.
That's my point.
But they did add online play. And online play means a lot.
But
did it work well? Yeah, like I mean, yeah, you can have the option of online play, but if it doesn't work, then
the day that Nintendo ships a Mario game with good online play, I'll be dancing on the ceiling.
We'll put a pin in that for later, but yeah.
That is not you cannot point to the online component of Super Mario 3D World's port to Switch as a reason that it's good.
Have I got a zinger for y'all? Subnautica Double Pack came out in May this year, and against all odds, both those games play well on the system in both docked and handheld.
Subnautica, Quake, what was Chris? The Crisis?
Yeah.
Remastered. I was more leaning towards Part 2 over the other two parts of it, but
is that one package?
Well, it's one package. You have to buy the package, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. On the Switch, they broke them out into retail boxes. But
okay.
Wow.
I think you'd have to be an idiot to not buy the trilogy because it's the same price.
Got it. Okay, so Crisis 2 is specifically your nomination.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else? No?
Nominations.
Okay. I got one. Tetris Effect Connected. This game is amazing in its own right. It's great on Xbox. I think that Xbox One got it first, right? And then I think it was a Game Pass thing where it was on PC and Xbox. But now Connected is out on PS4. It's out on, or I guess Tetris Effect launched on PS4, right?
Yes.
And then Connected came back over there.
So here's the thing with that. Asif, do you remember when that game first launched on PS4 and PSVR, and we said this game looks amazing? There's no way they'd be able to bring this to Switch.
Mhm.
And then it launched on Xbox Series X, and they
Mhm.
upgraded it, up-res and everything. We're like, oh, there's definitely no way they can bring this to Switch now. And now they brought it to Switch, and it looks really good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm amazed at the quality of this port.
It like the reason I'm behind on playing some of my games for the deliberations is that I just pick up my Switch and play Tetris Effect every day. Handheld Tetris Effect connected is crazy. And I would argue that if this game, when it came out on PS4, shipped with all the features that are currently in it, it'd be 10 out of 10 for me. I would have pushed for a 10 out of 10. Because one of my negatives for it was that it didn't have a multiplayer component. Connected multiplayer is a super cool experience. I'm talking crossplay, right? I can play crossplay between a PS4, a Switch, and a PC or an Xbox. You know what I mean? Like that ability to play crossplay Tetris in this weird co-op sort of way where you are competing with your friends, but you're also building together is awesome. So, but that's more of just Connected being a great game. Back to the port aspect. This thing runs amazing in docked. It runs great in handheld. And I have a Switch OLED. In my opinion, Tetris Effect showcases the Switch OLED maybe better than any other game on the system right now. Going back to Ozzy's point about the graphic fidelity of it. And we get this like, there's always this refrain about how when you port something to Switch, it's going to run worse. If the frame rate dropped in Tetris Effect Connected, I would say this game is garbage and I would have never picked it up and played it again. That's not the case. And they had some bugs that they addressed with this massive patch a month ago. But it's the ability to pick it up, play it in handheld, suspend it, put it down, and go back to your day and then come right back to where you were. It's really something else. The worst part of it is playing that with a Pro controller. But that's true of most things involving a
Pro
D-pad.
controller on Switch isn't very good. Yeah,
but like it makes the dock. I tweeted at Enhance about it. I was like, the only negative thing I have to say about this is that this sucks with the Pro controller. And I went out and I bought an 8-bit dough and I play it that way now. But I have mainly been playing it in handheld.
Is it
I will
input
say
lag
that there
that's
was
the
another.
controller is causing, or
Huh?
because is it input lag that's causing this? Because this is one of the 2 games I bought for Switch this year, and I put it down. I put it down because it was awful to play it in docked mode. At least on my. I don't have the new Switch though.
But
the Pro controller's D-pad is mushy as hell.
It's the Pro controller D-pad, Chris.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I don't know if that's necessarily actual input lag or if it's just a garbage D-pad.
It's a garbage D-pad.
But because I had the exact same experience, Chris. Like when I was playing it with my Pro controller and it's like, wow, I hate this game. And Blake, you were playing with me online and I was playing like complete crap. You're like, what's wrong with you? You're good at Tetris. And I'm like, it's this D-pad. I kept hard dropping things by accident, like all these different things. I got an 8-bit dough, Crabs, and it's light years different. So I do think it has to do. Yeah, it does have something to do with the controller. I'm not entirely sure if it's input lag or if it's just the controller is bad and they should feel bad. But as bad as the Joy-Cons are in general, the D buttons on that thing handle Tetris very well, and I was already used to playing that from Tetris 99. You know, I played that game a lot in handheld. I would like to go back to Tetris 99 with an 8-bit dough. I bet I would be playing better.
Ooh, yeah, you should definitely try that.
I don't know. That Tetris is like crack rock to me, so I'm trying to not dabble in 2 variants of crack rock right now. I want to mention this other game. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 came out on Switch this year, and it's good. It's a solid port, but yeah, Activision has a whole gang of issues over there. But yeah, it's
I wouldn't say it's the best port either.
No, it's not. But it works. You know, like I was concerned that the decrease in FPS was going to make that game less enjoyable to me. But honestly, I'm older now. Having a little more time for the button inputs to be recognized actually helps when playing that on Switch. It also handled handheld very well. But yeah, those would be like the two that I mentioned. But yeah, Tetris Effect Connected is unbelievable to me. It hits all these things that Nintendo fails at a lot, right? Like the frame rate's solid. It comes at like there's actual online play. The cross-platform aspect is great. And they were able to adapt levels where like I just remember thinking like when I was playing it on PSVR or something, Ozzy, like I just remember being like, they're never gonna put this on Switch. It just looks too nice. Like
That's what I said. I'm
yeah.
like, there's no way this is ever going to end up on Switch.
Yeah.
And
So
to the point that I think that year when we were doing deliberations, I think you were suggesting that we put Tetris Effect as like game that should be on Switch, and like, there's no way it's ever going to be on Switch.
yeah, you can also look at my review of this game from the year it came out. One of my negatives is that it's not on Switch.
And now it is.
Yeah, it's like I went back to my review and I read my review. They addressed every single negative I had in the review. So yeah, for me, this is an amazing game, and I'm shocked that it works as well as it does on Switch. That's why it's gonna get my vote. But yeah, any other nominations? Nope. Okay, let's put it to a vote then. We'll start with Chris.
I
You
guess
going
I'll
with
stick-
Crisis 2?
I'll stick with Crisis 2.
Okay. I'm gonna go Tetris Effect Connected. Blake?
I'm going with Tetris Effect Connected as well. The game's too tasty, and like the crossplay aspects now are like chef's kiss.
It's something special to be able to play. It doesn't matter what platform your friend has that game on, that you can all play together. It's something else. Sam?
Tetris Effect, please.
Nice. Bill?
Quake.
Quake. Okay. Ozzy?
I'm going to stick with Tetris Effect because I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that it would run this well on Switch.
Mm-hmm. TJ?
Sticking with the Subnautica double pack for that exact reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's those games are beautiful, and it's quite frankly amazing that they got them over to the Switch intact.
Yeah, like I played those on my PC and like ultra wide, so it's interesting. I kind of want to check it out just to see how they look. But that's awesome. Greg?
Quake because Doom. Quake. Doom because like they worked so hard on getting all those ports out and like really connected.
Doom Eternal?
No, the
I think you mean the Quake.
Quake, yeah, Quake.
Greg's
Yeah.
brain is fried.
Quake, sorry. Because they
It's
worked
too
so
much.
hard. They worked so hard getting that out and got 60 frames per second and really were adamant about doing that on getting it right on the Switch and doing it correctly, and yeah, I think it's impressive.
50 Shades of Brown it is.
It's
Done.
not on Switch though.
I know. But
I'll go with Tetris. See you convince me with the argument there.
sweet. Danny, what you got?
I've been converted to the Tetris train after
Mhm.
your convincing argument.
It had no business being that good. Like at all. David, I think you nominated Quake, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Quake. Also, for the reasons we've all mentioned, but also like $10 is a perfect price for a port of a game that old, no matter how good it is. Like that's instant buy level right there.
It was a lot of fan service they did there.
Yeah, like it's Night Dive. This is just kind of what they do, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. I got some bad news for Quake. They lost to Tetris Effect. 6 votes for Tetris Effect. Connected 3 votes for Quake, 1 vote for Subnautica, 1 vote for Crisis 2. That means enhanced games. I'm so happy we get to give you more awards. I love you. Tetris Effect Connected, the best Nintendo Switch port of 2021 here at Shacknews. Congratulations. Synesthesia in your pocket. Come on.